Hi guys, welcome back to August Love Story, the channel. My name is Artieka.
I'm Tommy.
And today we are reviewing Ready to Love Season 5, Episode 7. No idea what it's titled, but it'll be in the title of this video. Did not take that as a note. So we'll start at the ending. Sean and Cornelius were in the bottom two. We do know that Sean went home. We saw that foreshadowing starting at the beginning with his date with Sabrina.
It's funny because the first note I wrote about Sean is it seemed like he telling mama what happened.
Because that's what it felt like.
Yeah.
So we'll go back to the beginning and then we'll work our way back to that elimination. So started off with the ladies' lounge. I said, how are we at the halfway mark with 8 women left and we started with 10 plus 1?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess they're gonna do it. I guess you got to leave it with 3 people. And we got how many left?
You got to leave it with 3 couples. So that's 3 women.
Yeah.
And we still have 8. so 5 have to be eliminated. That's not a halfway mark.
I mean, I don't know.
Zadia has her friends Stacy in India. Oh, I forgot to say, this episode was all about meeting the friends.
Yeah.
So the guys come in, meet the friends, and see what type of vibe the friends get from them. Zadia has her friend Stacy in India there to meet Naeem. Naeem showed up with a dozen white roses, and her friends asked him why had he never been engaged or married. He says that he's just been unlucky in love.
Mm-hmm.
Her friends did describe him as cool and authentic when it was all over with. One thing that I do get about Naeem is that he's not really there for the shenanigans.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to sit and play the game of saying all of the cute things to make your friends be like, oh my goodness, girl. Like, no. This is what happened.
This is the truth.
This is how it happened. And, or at least this is my truth.
Yeah.
I can't say this is the truth, but at least this is my truth. But he definitely doesn't come across as I'm going to play the game.
Right.
Like, no, what you see is what you get is how I feel he comes across on this here show. Sabrina had a family meeting with like 5 people.
Man, she brought so many people, man. Like it's intimidating to have 5 people in there to talk with you about reasons why you want to date their friend.
Yeah, and I absolutely hate on both sides of the coin. Like, don't ask a man what's his intentions and don't ask a woman what are her intentions, because I'm probably going to try to make you feel stupid. Yeah. What was your intentions in asking me that question?
Yeah. Like, how does that help you?
Right. It doesn't. And it doesn't help her either. Because I could lie to your face and I could be a convincing liar if I want to. So, like, no, let's not do that. So Walter showed up. She had her friends Dana, Malik, Angel, Layla, and Sherelle. Don't remember who was who.
You got all the names.
I wrote their names. I tried to write everybody's names. And if they say something specific, I put Sherelle said.
No, yeah. Pacifically. So Walter showed up and they asked him how did he end up in the DMV area, and he said he had a full scholarship to Morgan State. All of her friends seemed to be, very wowed by that. I'm like, we're in our 40s. Let's not be wowed by his full scholarship that he got when he was 18. Yeah. Not to say that it's not an accomplishment. It definitely is.
However, it was just like, oh, girl, that's nice. It's like, we're 45.
It really doesn't, at that age, it doesn't matter.
Right.
At that point. It's like, oh, okay.
I think he said he was in mechanical engineering.
Yeah.
So it seemed that all of her friends did end up liking Walter, which Walter has come across as a very
likable guy.
Yeah, a likable guy. Like, he seems very easygoing in conversations. Don't know what he's like in an actual relationship. However, as far as passing a friend's test, I never thought that he wouldn't pass a friend's test. And then we get to Sean. So Sean comes in and she starts off by giving a disclaimer saying that Sean told her that he did not want to hurt her feelings.
when they went out for Korean barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
And essentially, Sean was saying that he didn't want to hurt her feelings because he was very much so, I really hate to keep using the word vibe, but that's the trend here. Like they were vibing with each other. And he asked her about kids and she was like, no, sir, I'm one and done. And I'm a woman of a particular age. Even if I wasn't one and done, I'm not trying. So her friends were automatically going to be on the defense about that. And I think that when you start off prefacing things by telling people side conversations that you've had, it's automatically going to put them on the, I don't like them.
Yeah. They like when you meeting a person for the first time, but you're given an impression of the person, it's tainted. Like that person has to work extra hard to overcompensate for what you just said about it.
It'd be like, y'all know I really like dark-skinned dudes, right?
Yeah.
However, when he come in here, that's not what he gonna look like.
Right.
It was just kind of like that. And so you're automatically like, he not her type because you put it out there.
Yeah. So it's like him having to sit there and they asking questions like, how are you as a provider? You know, or something like that. And I was like, what type of question is that?
He started off describing his future woman as Claire Huxtable. And then they got to that provider conversation. And he says he has the capacity to pick up a bill or two. I want to understand, what does that mean? Not the bill or two, but what question are you asking for about him as a provider?
Like, what are you trying to find out?
Do you want him to have the capacity to pay all of the bills in Sabrina's home when they live together? Or should he have the capacity to pay the bills in her home and in his home? Like, what specifically is it that you are thinking this provider should be doing?
What does a provider look like for you to ask that question to him? For me, that's a sense of, why ask that question when you're first meeting a person as if they are dating, girlfriend and boyfriend, and looking to get married to each other? And why is it of your knowledge? That's something she should be wanting to know and not you, because he's not providing for you.
He ain't providing for you.
Right.
That's like the what's your intentions? The provider conversation just feels a little off the mark.
And it's not like they're having conversation. You know, they're interrogating him. Now, I can understand if the providership conversation comes up and they start to explain, they're talking about what does providers look like. I understand that question.
Like if he started off saying, I want to protect and provide for her. Well, what does that look like?
Right.
But that's more of a gateway of what does it look like? Do you have the capacity to provide?
Yeah.
I don't know what that looks like.
That's more so of a conversation. This was an interrogation. The one thing I did want to bring up, and I'm pretty much done after this, was the question about he didn't want to, or the thing about he didn't want to hurt her in a couple months. I got the impression that he was still unsure of if he wanted to have children. And the thing about that is, it's like he's of a particular age, and you wanting to have children at 44. I'm not 44 years old, but the idea of wanting to have children at 44 years old, your woman is not going to be the same age as you. Because
I mean, they could be.
They could be, but it's still a sense of, you have to realize that this woman, it's a chance that this woman doesn't want to have children. You being on the fence about it, that's something I feel like you should be. If you want to have children, lead with, I want to have children. There's no doubt.
At 44, it shouldn't be a could be not.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like at 44, it should definitely be a yes, this is what I would like for my life.
Right. And so like, him saying he doesn't want to hurt her in a couple of months still puts a variable up there. It's like,
it puts the variable of, I can waste her time until I find somebody that is going to give me children.
Yeah.
Or be willing to give me children. Then I'll go entertain her.
Mm-hmm.
Which is essentially what he's doing. Like, it's between her and Tasia.
Yeah.
And Tasia is like, yep, kids, all that. But Tasia's early 30s. And she's in the mindset of ticking biological clock. Let me jump on something.
That's the best you come up with. Jump on something.
Best I could come up with. So Malik said, make it make sense. I don't remember exactly what that was to. And Dana said it just didn't feel right. He explained the comment about not wanting to hurt her. And Malik says that he feels like Sean is going to stifle Sabrina's movement. And before Sean could get out the door and it closed, Sherelle was like, he not the one.
Right.
I was like, I'm sure he heard that, Sherelle. Because everybody heard that one.
Right.
And I agree. He's not the one for Sabrina. Yeah. Camille had her friends meet Cornelius. I noted that her friends are just as annoying as she is. Camille is really annoying to me. Yeah. And I can't pinpoint exactly what it is about her behavior that is annoying. But
it's the fact that the first time she met this guy, she basically stuck her claim to him.
That wasn't annoying.
That's the annoying thing to me. And the fact that she's like, that's my boyfriend and blase this and blase that. And it's like, do he even really like you?
Or is he afraid of you?
Right.
It seemed like he's afraid of you.
That's what it seems like.
So her friends are asking questions as if they're not filming for a TV show. Like, I feel like production went in and was like, be extra. And they was like, I understood the assignment. Right. Like, they were being so extra for no reason. Her guy friend started off asking Cornelius if he was in love with her. And I'm like, he don't even know her.
Right.
Why would he be in love with somebody he does not know? I noted that he stood his ground. I don't really remember why I said he stood his ground, but he asked her friends why she was never married. And they said that she has commitment issues. Like, she's been proposed to several times, but she always finds some reason to back out and not see the actual wedding through. So it's interesting to hear that from a friend, because they also were like, he's not your type. They said he was too nice and that she was going to get bored. And she's just like, nope, this is it. And it's almost like she's trying to provide herself a challenge.
Yeah.
And Cornelius is her nice guy challenge. And it doesn't hurt that on paper, Cornelius is everything that you say you want.
Mm-hmm. Like,
he loved the Lord.
Yeah.
He got his money management together because he's debt free at whatever age he is. I don't think he has any kids. So it's literally just like, okay, build a family.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on it. And she's like you said, she put her claws in and she's like, this is the one. I'm not budging. Y'all not getting my man. And it's stifling both of them from getting to know other people. Yeah. Not that I think that anybody else is there for Camille specifically,
right?
But we don't know if anybody else is there for Cornelius specifically.
Because they're afraid to.
Exactly. Like, Stacy is like, wasn't it Stacy? She was like, I get friend vibes from him, but it's mostly because of Camille.
Yeah.
Like, he's afraid. Her name's not Stacy. Her name is Sydney.
Yeah.
Sydney met up with her friends Dallas and Ashley, and Frank is who she picked to come out. Frank says that he and his ex were moving into different places in his life, and that's why he's not ever been married.
Mm.
Frank said that his bad trait is being super attentive. Usually we see women with that bad trait of shutting out everything that's going on around them for a man, not necessarily men shutting out everything around them for a woman. Yeah. Not to say that it doesn't happen. It's just usually women are doing it versus men.
Yeah.
And they part ways, Sydney and Frank, that is, with a kiss. He definitely came in like, you my girl.
Mm-hmm.
This gonna work. And let me prove to your friends how this is going to work. But I wouldn't, because she and Frank knew each other from the nightlife, I wouldn't put it past them that he also is acquainted with her friends in some type of way.
Right.
Because usually when you go out with your friends.
Mm-hmm.
So, did you have anything to say?
No, I really like the fact that they thought he gave pageant answers. Was funny to me, but whatever I have to do to impress them, to get a little bit more time with you, that's what I'm gonna do. So that's why I looked at that.
The goal is to win.
Yeah.
Win what?
I don't know, but winners win, losers lose.
Win.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Mumin.
Yes. Mumin has her friend Robin come out, and Robin met Dante and Walter. Dante revealed that he has 3 baby mamas. And I was like, nice to tell the truth, but that was like a lead.
Yeah.
With
you just want to get it out there.
Possibly be the worst thing going for you. And it's not that you have 3 kids as the worst thing that's going for you, but there are 3 women that you have to orchestrate everything with.
Yeah. It's
not a selling point if you want to get all of your kids. Then Walter pops up, and Dante and Walter felt blindsided because they didn't know that the other person was going to be there. I wish that this would have been a situation like Sabrina had Walter and then Sean.
Like they're by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because it's like Walter is like, why am I here?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting here like, you had this conversation going with him. Y'all don't want to get to know me. Like,
right. I'm just here because I don't want to get fined.
Right. Production set me up to be here at this time, and this is what y'all got going. I'm not really interested in this. So Dante was rubbing on her hand under the table and her leg and stuff. And then when Dante left, Robin was then able to focus her efforts on Walter. And Walter said he doesn't even know if he should be ready to make a commitment to anything because another dude just left out of here.
Right.
Like, why are we acting like this is the precursor to us getting together? And you got to get the precursor of us getting together to be that you choose one of us.
Right.
And you got 2 sitting here at the table with each other. So I definitely understood that. And it would be a little bit of a blindsided situation. Dante just was like, I know if I rub a leg, I got her. Kind of like if I can make her laugh, I got her.
Right, exactly.
He just did what he had to do. Last but not least, I had Ladies Love Cool Phil. Because Phil was on some dates. He went out with Aisha, Tasia, and Shiloh. And I didn't put any real details of all the dates, but I said that he did tell all of their friends that their friend was one of his strongest connections.
Yeah.
I thought that was going to backfire on him.
I did too. But I saw that backfire.
But I don't think that he said, you are my strongest. Y'all are my stronger.
Yeah. He didn't specifically, that was the cool thing about it. He didn't specifically say you're 1, 2, and 3. He just was like, I have a really strong relationship or connection with this person. And, is still trying to figure out where they are.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad he was able to focus on them as the person right then and there.
Absolutely. So we get to the ladies' lounge. The ladies got into it at the ending of the ladies' lounge after they went through all of their dates and what happened. I wish that in that moment somebody would have just told Zadia to fix her attitude.
Yeah.
Because
I don't understand where the attitude came from.
I don't know. Zadia had an attitude, and Camille mocking Aisha. I know she wouldn't have done that to her face.
Nah, not at all.
I just know she wouldn't have done that to her face.
Now they do get to see this on the reunion.
They do.
So,
and
I hope nothing stupid happens.
I'm not saying anything stupid happened, but if Aisha tells her about herself, she can't sit there with a dumb look on her face because she did it.
Tasia was saying, "Don't be on 100 because I get on 102." It's like, why me attitude with attitude?
Because I'm not your child.
Honestly, that whole conversation just came out of the blue. I don't even know what like sparked it in the beginning. Like, oh, I know. Aisha was saying that the girls need to narrow down their decision because we're asking the men to narrow down their decision as well. And Zadia was just like not having that.
And she was like, I have too. So she was like, okay, you've narrowed it down.
Right.
I have too. And I'm like, eye rolling, not gonna work with me.
Yeah.
It's not like gonna work with me.
She said that and was like, all right, yeah, you have two. That's a list. She was saying she doesn't have a list. And Aisha was like, yeah, you have two. She was
like, if you go to the store for one thing, you're picking up one thing. But if it's two, you write a list.
Yeah. So it's like an argument over nothing.
It was an argument over nothing. And I think that Zadia definitely caused most of this argument. And then Camille was her hype person.
And Tasia jumped in because nobody's finna argue around me like I just don't argue well. That's the way I felt about that. So ultimately the ladies had basically was like Cornelius because of Camille and Sean because Sean didn't get back to them. That was Sean's issue. Cornelius' issue was Camille.
I put that Cornelius is afraid of Camille and he won't admit it, but he's scared. I put scared. Skurred.
Oh, okay.
Zadia kept the questions coming about Camille, and I'm like, if Camille is the real reason for Sean's hesitancy, which
Cornelius.
Yes, Cornelius's, I'm sorry, hesitancy, which we know that it is. Why do we keep talking about her?
I don't know.
Her advice was to keep the door open to the other ladies, and he is safe to stay. Tasia and Sean, he told her that he didn't like his date with Sabrina and her friends. Communication was lacking, was what Tasia said to him, like his communication with the other ladies, because even with herself, because they went on a date, they had a good date, and then she never heard from him again. Yeah.
Sean really was like rejoicing in the fact that he
said hallelujah.
Yeah, he at the end when they was like he got voted off. I think this process for Sean was a bit overbearing. And he never been put in a position like that.
I think Sean was a favor.
Possibly.
Like, I know somebody.
Yeah.
He's single, like, put my boy on the show.
Yeah, that's what it was. Put my
I feel
guy
like,
on the
I
show.
mean, okay, so.
Because that's weird, too. They just added two people.
Sean is in journalism, right?
Yeah.
And in journalism.
Is it journalism?
Yeah.
Oh.
I know he kept mentioning that he was in the National Association of Black Journalists. In journalism, you meet producers. He knows somebody. That's his entire existence on this show feels like a favor to someone. Like Sydney seemed like she was somebody that just didn't meet a deadline. And they were like, but we really did like her. Yeah. So let's just go on and put her in. But if we put her in, we got to have a guy. Yeah. And he was a favor.
Yeah, I see that.
Because Sydney came in playing the game, like the catch-up game. I'm going to get to know everybody here. Okay, you're cool. You're nice. Hey, how are you doing? But like, she even did that with the ladies. Like, she sat down and like had conversations with everyone. She's like, y'all have all bonded and created friendships. Maybe I need an ally.
Yeah.
I don't know. So it's like, okay, let me come in and get to know everybody and figured this situation out.
Right.
And she was met, especially by Camille, with a whole lot of faces. I think that's what it is about Camille. It's all the animation in her face coupled with a bad attitude.
Yeah.
Like, it's those two things together that makes her not a likable person on this show. She could be a great person, but her friends are also annoying.
Yeah.
So that would be hard to get to know her in general because of that.
Yeah.
But I think Sydney came in to play the game, and I feel like Sean was a favor.
Yeah. I can see that. I can see that happening.
You got a question for the people?
Nah. Has Cornelius closed the door? Has it? I think. Okay, this is the question. Has Cornelius let this ride with Camille too long to actually not get eliminated if Camille gets eliminated? Because in my eyes, if Camille gets eliminated, he's gone. And like, I honestly think he's one of the best guys on this show. As far as like being open enough to talk to the ladies and everything like that. But I think Camille has tainted him in a manner that if she's eliminated, because he's the only person that's vying for her and he's on the fence. So it's like it could get down to 4 ladies and 4 men or 3 men or however many men it'll be. But it gets down to it and he's on the fence with her. Like, she's probably gone. You know?
Yeah, because nobody else is checking for her.
Absolutely nobody.
And then she has created an environment where nobody wants to check for him.
It's like they want to check for him, but I can't, because I would have, if I check for him or if I, try to go out with him and stuff, I have to deal with her. And
ain't nobody got time for
it.
that.
Ain't worth that when there's all these other men to check for. So yeah, that's the question. Has Camille ruined the experiment for Cornelius as far as like being able to talk with other women and not get eliminated?
Good question. We'll pin it down below, right?
Yeah.
All right. So again, you guys haven't already, please take a minute to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and then share this post to a friend that watches Ready to Love. Also, how are you guys liking this season in comparison to the other 4 seasons? I'm trying to let it be what it is.
Yeah.
But I think the Houston crowd of both seasons did more for me than this DC crowd.
I think the season where they were on the resort was the better season. I understand why they were on the resort. But as it gets closer to less people, it gets more interesting to me. So
because then you get to start seeing the true interactions and dates, and it's not a whole bunch of texting. And
we don't miss a lot of things because it's not so many people trying to meet with this person and that person. So also check out our Vlogmas videos that we put out as well every day
for the month of December.
They've definitely been interesting and fun. And so check them out. And that's all I got.
All right, y'all. Bye.
Peace.